Hi, today we're going to take a look at popular sound effects in motion design, how to make them and how to use them. If the topic turns out to be interesting, I'll make several such videos with projects of varying complexity. Let's start with a relatively simple one. Here we go. This is a project with word animation. The author, Alexander Bykov, created it for video makers, motion designers and everyone who works in social media marketing, for openers, explainers, creatives for social networks. Scenes are short but with nuances. I'll tell you how I did the sound design for this project, but you can do it in different ways. I will start with simple effects, gradually they will become more complex and special magic more interesting. Let's look to the end. So, from the very beginning it was decided that the sound should support a positive, semi-cartoonish mood, without going into the strict digital style. The sound design had to be minimalistic to go along with any music. Besides, the sounds were planned to be sold together with the project, so they need to be original. And first of all, they should support the accents. And for the accents in this style, such a popular effect works perfectly. Called pop, click, snap, clop, clack, etc. It can be based on clicks made even with your body. The more you can click, the wider your arsenal will be. And you can also record it on your smartphone. There's no special processing. I just cut off the extra low frequencies so they don't stick out anywhere. To create cartoonishness, I just raised the pitch. It doesn't matter how much, it's to my taste. You can have one at 7 semitones and the other at 8, for example, for variation. And these short tonal tails like this will make the sound more interesting. How to make it? You can probably create a tone in every program like this. Choose any waveform you like, only a small piece will come in handy. Then smoothly raise or lower the pitch of the tone. And then you can squeeze, so the original character is barely perceptible. Make more and more copies of this, of different waves and lengths. They will come in handy. For example, this scene is voiced in much the same way, only the clicks made of two different clicks. And two tonal sounds are added, a short one like the previous one, and the long one for the first movement. There are the sounds I used at the base, and they work well with others. Like here, the lip click, sounds with small objects for ringing. In the word slow, the clicks support the movement of the letters. And for the movement itself, I recorded a balloon. This same balloon came in handy in the word big. And here where the nuances come in. First, I used the recenter plugin. It returned the sound to the center of the panorama, preserving the width of the stereo. Second, with the same plugin, I made the effect of expanding sound from narrow to wide to support in the video. Such little things create the right impression without a long search for other solutions. In some cases it is indispensable. Clicks can also be used for such sounds as Trill. Just multiply the sound, combine, and you can again change the pitch. In this case, I turned it up by doing the rise effect. This gives the impression of a smooth feel. You can use it when making sound for some batteries or accumulators. And I added a slight whoosh effect to emphasize the movement. It's done with the whoosh effects tool, but there are many ways to do whooshes. Moving on. In general, for the voicing of the motion can often be useful improvised objects. Sometimes they do not even need processing. It's good as it is. And for this effect, I recorded some knives, scissors, metal grinding and banging, plus a whoosh and tinnitus effect. If you look it up, it's called tinnitus, but I previously made it myself for my sound effects collection and just took it from there. I'll tell you more about that later. By the way, cameras are good for voicing some servomotors, robots and other mechanisms. I was just changing the pitch of it. Another thing that works well with this kind of animation is the accelerated sounds. Even if you are not a musician, play a few notes slowly and then squeeze the file and multiply it. Then change the pitch, add a clap, and the new scene is ready. For the same reason, never throw away old toys or the most interesting parts of them. Also, for this style are cool different springy objects. It can be a rubber band, a stretch fishing line, or even a ruler. For this scene, the sound of the ruler with a simple whoosh was enough. The spring sounds are also combined with more complex effects. For example, like the 8-bit sound here and the error sound here. These effects I took from my own production collection again. Also, in this scene, the sounds are picked from the effects of that collection. And literally a couple of words about it. For those who can't create complex sounds by themselves, who can't work with synthesizers, or who are just in search of fresh sounds for their projects. I created a pack of sounds for interfaces, devices, creating electronic ambiences, voicing different clicks and gadgets. It is useful for motion graphics and different electronics from life. And not only. Everything is created from scratch, broken down into categories, and many of the sounds have multiple variations. Details in the description or through personal messages on social networks. And this video was voiced by this collection. It was a talk about challenging sounds, but the ones we learned earlier will come in handy in combinations for complex movement. Like here, a spring, different clicks, as well as whoosh, a trill of clicks, and a microwave sound, which further dilutes the sound. Another useful sound for projects like this is your voice. It is always with you and will help express any emotion. And in this case, the quality of the recording from your smartphone will be enough. Again, just raise the tone. This kind of voice goes well with the effects I've already shown. To create a crowd, you can record several variants and spread out on the panorama. Even if you go aboard with the acting, it will fit good here. There is a children's toy at the end. Well, by the way, record not only yourself, but your pets, housemates, roommates and dependents. Now here's a thought. Sometimes some things do not sound the way we expect them to. Because we have clichés in our heads and they don't always match reality. But one day I heard a phrase that appealed to me and untied my hands. The meaning was: that's often not the naturalness of the sounds that's more important, but its behavior. This means that we believe a sound easily if it behaves according to our perceptions, even if it sounds like a different object. I used the sound for this scene. In addition to the tonal tail, the lip click, and the spinning of a real coin. But to make the key behave more like a coin, I narrowed the panorama just to have it in the center and added a tremolo. Now the coin seems to rotate, and plus flanger, as if because the rotation, the sound resonates with itself. Standard effects like Flanger and Phaser can change the sound completely. For example, an ordinary drop of water suddenly starts to spring, and the ruler became even more cartoonish. Another interesting thing about this project was this scene. It has the knife we already know, plus a couple of banana sounds. But the most interesting thing is the rotation of the knife. You could use the usual whoosh sound, but I took a piece of pink noise. It's easy to find or create. I put a tremolo and the OR plugin on the noise. It picks up special frequencies that makes it feel like being pronounced by a person. Interesting. And each time it comes out a little different, like some randomization effect. And all together. And for those who like it more brutal, add a tomato. Also, pink noise comes in handy for creating a dust, steam or smoke effect. Just imitate the behavior of the sound. Hear it a bit sharply and fades out a bit more smoothly. And add a slight reverb. By the way, it's a great free and simple reverb. For the jump I took again a water drop with a flanger, and for the kick a shortened snare. I can also show you how to make such effect from a pink noise. Here, besides noise, there is a small tonal tail. Then, both of them have a simple resonant filter, handy and flexible. I just automated the cutoff knob. Once the plugin was free, but not anymore. By the way, follow me on my social networks, I tell about plugins I found and share my experience. And in the first half of the scene I put together a little sketch of free drums and bass, which is simply opened with a filter. I used specialized instruments for some scenes as well. I'll tell you about them in the future. So that's what the project was like. At the moment it already has more than 50 words in it, and there will be more. I will leave a link for you to follow the updates. And now the most interested among of you can try to hear the sounds we've learned on their own. And again, you can make these sounds in different ways. Write down comments with your ideas, but hopefully someone has learned something new. And check out the collection I was talking about, very handy and versatile. That's all. Like, subscribe, comment and juicy sound for all. Bye.
You can't do that?
No, I can't do that. But I can do this. Does that help?